best in the Midwest. Welcome to the stream. Today we are talking some ugly guns. Wherever you are, take a seat, relax, and get ready to look at some of the ugliest creations by various militaries. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. Get some chapstick on here. Boom. Can't have chapped lips. Alright, so let's get into it. Again, my name is Dion W. Pro, the best in the Midwest. Today we're talking ugly guns. My first ugly gun here we're talking about is the EMP-40. Yo, what up? I'm back, baby. Yeah, I guess the ban was only for 2 days. But yeah, no more touching these things, I guess. And you know what's crazy? Some dude told me not to do it a while ago, and like I had done it so many times before, I was just like, oh, but it's in like an educational manner. And it was, but they still flagged me. But what's weird is they directed me to like a spot of the like policy that had nothing to do with what the violation was for. So I don't know, maybe it was just a false flag. But that stream was cooking too. There was like 33 people in the stream, and then I like looked back at the camera and then it was just off. I was like, oh shit. But oh well. Hope you're doing good, bro. Anyways, we're gonna kind of take it back from square one. So I don't know if you were here when we were talking about the EMP-40, EMP-44, but that is what we're starting with. We've got a bunch of different ones, but we'll get it cracking. So the EMP-44 was a prototype all-metal submachine gun produced by Irma Werk in 1943, and it was rejected by the German army. Again, that goes to say, like, how bad does a gun have to be for it to be rejected by the military? Pretty bad, because I've seen some stuff that they let fly. Let's read a little bit about it, and then I'll kind of turn this thing around so you can see it. So again, the EMP-44 fires from an open bolt. The caliber is 9x19 millimeter parabellum. The length of the gun is 892 to 950 millimeters, so probably about yay big. I don't even know how big a millimeter is. You gotta speak in American terms when we're talking lengths here. What do you got to say? I'm chilling. That sucks. They did that. It's weird that they've seen worse handling. Oh yeah, I've seen some really weird stuff online. Honestly. Howdy, folks who just tuned in. My name is Dion W. Pro, the best in the Midwest. This is the Gun Lounge, and today we are talking different guns. Right now we're talking the EMP-44, which was a World War II submachine gun that did not make it past the cut. So this gun was crudely assembled with stock made of pipes welded together. Now, I'll go ahead and pull up this gun just so you can see it real quick. But it's nothing to write home about, guys. That's what it was. Bunch of stock metal, basically, is what they're saying, all welded together, which is wild, first off. Like, what? So you're not really getting much. It literally, like I said the other day, it was like 2 staplers like welded together or whatever, maybe 4 staplers. And this was basically a ripoff of the British Sten gun, which was another World War II gun. Again, this gun was crudely assembled with a stock made of pipes welded together. This was part of its design philosophy for the weapon, was created in response to the requirements of the primitive Waffen program, more or less in an attempt to imitate the British Sten gun, like I said before. And the British Sten gun is basically a submachine gun, but it looks really cool. I actually have a picture of it here, I think. Where is that piece here? No. I have so many tabs open. Here it is. So this isn't even, no. Is this the Sten? No, this isn't the Sten gun. Sorry guys, I got 1,000 tabs. All right, let's pull this one up. British Sten gun. So this is a clone of the British Sten gun. I'll pull that up for you guys real quick. I got so many different firearms up here. Okay, let's see here. Come on. So this is what it was trying to emulate, was the Sten gun. And if you look at that, oh, I guess I did have a picture of that. And if you look at that, it's really weird, but the magazine is coming off the side of it, almost like what looks like an 11 o'clock position almost. Oh, trying to get my computer to charge again. Oh well, I'm sure it's got enough juice for what we're doing today. Anyways, so yeah, that's the British Sten gun. So this was basically a failed British Sten gun. So this gun was probably designed in around 1943 to 1945, only having a serial number known of up to 15. So only 15 of these weapons were ever made. And I know that's kind of crazy, but it says one theory as to the fate of the prototypes is that most were cannibalized due to the dual feed mechanism, which was then installed in the MP40s. So I guess a lot of these parts that were on the EMP-44 were interchangeable with the more widely used MP40, which is cool. Now, the wide use of submachine guns by the German armed forces during the Second World War led to a strong dependence on the industrial capacity of arms factories that brought out simplified designs at lower production costs. So again, I was talking about that. But basically, due to the fact that they wanted so many submachine guns, they were just trying to make them easier and easier as possible, just crappier parts, you know. So it just made it more economical for the factories to make these crappier guns, even though it was at basically a disservice to the military at that time. Let's see here. The receiver was produced out of welded steel tubing like the Sten. The flash suppressor was formed in the same manner as the Russian machine pistol, the PPS-43. And the MP-44 was rejected due to its failure to pass acceptance tests, but mainly because new weapons like the EMP-44 and the STG-44 were already produced with the goal to replace both the MP-40 and the carabiner. So again, this gun, the EMP-44, never got to see any action due to the fact that it was already getting phased out by, they said, the EMP-44 and the, oh no, not the EMP-44. They're getting phased out by the, what is it called? I'm drawing a blank right now. I got too many tabs open. What did they say here? So it was, yeah, the MP-44 is what they were replacing it with. So now we've got another really, really weird firearm here. I'll go ahead, pull up a picture real quick before I get talking about it. Now, this is called the RT-20. And this is, I don't even know what to say about this. So this is an antimatter rifle, is what they're saying. Kind of heady sounding, very futuristic, but that's what that is. Now, if you look at it closely, you can see what looks like a potato launcher on the top of it. I know I was making a joke the other day that it looks like you could shove marshmallows in there and blow them out. So I don't know quite what they're getting at. Because this thing does some damage. Let's go ahead and read a little bit about it, because this thing is freaking heavy duty. So, this is the RT-20. Now, the RT-20 is a Croatian bullpup anti-material rifle developed by Metallic in Reka in the 1990s and marketed by R.H. Allen. The name itself is an acronym of the Croatian word Runci Top 20, or hand cannon. That's badass. I love that. Now, operating with a bolt action, it houses a single 20 millimeter round and must be reloaded after each shot. So every shot is a 20 millimeter round. That is wild. Damn. Not gonna lie, I think after the ban they totally like sidelined my stream, bro. Cause ain't nobody coming in now. Which is fine. But I'm sure they'll pop in eventually. Okay, so it says the name itself is an acronym of the creation word. Runchi Top 20 houses a single 20 millimeter round and it must be reloaded after each shot. Given its large caliber, it is one of the most powerful anti-material rifles currently in use by any country. That's badass. It is also comparable to the South African Denel NTW-20 and the Indian Vidwanstock. I don't know how to say that. So let's read some of the specifications. So a unique feature of the weapon is its counter recoil reactive tube above the barrel. The Venturi tube funnel gases, this Venturi tube funnel gases from the propellant rearwards over the shooter's shoulder, similar to the act of a recoilless rifle. Okay, so that's what that big tube was at the end, is I guess that's just expelling a large amount of gas over your shoulder. So you don't want to stand directly behind that thing. Otherwise, you're going to get hit. So again, this is what that looks like. So I can kind of show you where those gases are being expelled. Now, again, this is a 20 millimeter round. Let me turn down the brightness so you guys can see that a little bit better. So that is a 20 millimeter round, and right above the top is where all those gases that are expelling that 20 millimeter single shot round are going to be coming out of. So again, you definitely do not want to be standing behind that when that thing goes off. Otherwise, you would probably get like 30-degree burns. Not even 30-degree. It goes straight up to 30-degree. So anyways, this Venturi tube funnels gases from the propellant rearwards and over the shooter's shoulder, similar to that of a recoilless rifle. This method of recoil reduction is rarely used in small arms due to the dangerous and highly visible backblast area that it generates. So again, you don't want to put that you don't want to put that in just any weapon, because again, if you're just down at the range and old Dick or Harry walks behind you, you're gonna shoot off one of their nuts. Anyways, the RT20 is no exception. An additional feature that differentiates the RT20 from other anti-armor and anti-material rifles is the placement of the bolt behind the shooter's head. This determines that either the user has a teammate or they must take the rifle off of their shoulder to reload. Interesting. Okay. So, chambering 120 by 110 millimeters. So that is a 20 millimeter bullet. That is damn near an inch. I think an inch is what, like 8? No, I can't even remember what an inch is. Anyways, so that's huge. 20 millimeters by 110. This rifle fires 130 gram, which is 2006 grains projectile at a muzzle velocity of 850 meters per second, producing a massive muzzle energy of 46,965 joules. It is likely that this cartridge was chosen for the logistical reasons, as it is also fired by the Zastava M55 anti-aircraft autocannon. A Zastava, I can't even say that. Zastava anti-aircraft autocannon. That sounds like something straight out of Star Wars, honestly. So, such a large amount of energy requires the use of 9 lugs on the head of the bolt in an interrupting thread pattern designed to unlock when turned 60 degrees clockwise. The large cartridge size allows for a variety of ammunition to be used, including AP, API, APIT, HE, HEI, HEIT, SAP HEI, I don't even know what those are, APDS HE-M, as well as potential to easily develop future unique loadings such as airburst or guided munitions. So you can potentially put a guided munition inside of this anti-material weapon. So this is a Croatian bullpup anti-material weapon. So again, just the fact that it's a bullpup and you're putting that on your shoulder is scary to me. Like, it really is. But show you guys one last quick peek before we start looking at some other weapons here. So that is the bullpup right there. You can see where you put your shoulder up against it. But that's cool. If you're just popping in, my name is Dion W Pro, the best in the Midwest. This is the Gun Lounge. We're talking different guns from all over time. Now we've got another one here. Let's see. So we are looking at the ZB-47. Now let's pull this thing up. I don't even know what to say about this. It doesn't necessarily look real, I would say. I mean, it's real. It's not pretty, that's for sure. It's really ugly. It almost looks like a pressure washer at a corner store that went out of business like 30 years ago, you know what I mean? What do we got in the comments? FNAL marksman configuration. Strange gun. Right. Let's see here. FNAL. Or what were we talking about? Are we talking about that RT20 here? FNAL. Let's see. The FNAL kind of is like a neat looking gun. I like it. We're going to go ahead and look at that one a little bit too. Now it has a handle up at the top. I'm not exactly sure what that handle is for. We'll have to kind of look into more about this FNAL. I'm pretty sure I've used that on Call of Duty. I just prefer long-range firearms of Belgian origin. Nothing wrong with that. I like some European firearms as well. One that has a really, it is a carrying handle, okay. One that has like a really bad reputation for just how bad of a gun it is the Mosin Nagant. It's like a Russian sniper rifle. But yeah, it's really, really crappy gun. Super loud. It's got like a top-loading magazine chamber, if I remember correctly. And it's just like prone to jamming a lot. All kinds of issues with that gun. Let's see, where were we? What were we looking at? Did I accidentally? I think okay, so now we're gonna kind of bring it into pistols. So I have this thing here. This is the Claridge. Now, this thing looks, I don't even know what to call it, but it looks like something you'd see on James Bond. Also, it looks like a hot glue gun, an oil dispenser of some sort. I don't know, but it's just weird. So I don't know what those ridges on the end would be for. It looks like you just screw it on there. So that is the Claridge / Gaunts, and this is supposedly a high-tech pistol. It's called the S9. So the Claridge high-tech and its antecedent, the Gaunts high-tech long pistol, are semi-automatic pistols designed by Hungarian. Oh, that's kind of close to what'd you say, Bulgarian? This is a semi-automatic pistol designed by Hungarian inventor Lajos John Gaunts. The unique firearm features a telescopic bolt design encased in a tubular upper receiver with a forged steel frame, button rifled match barrels, and a 16 round magazine capacity standard. That's honestly pretty good because some of your higher capacity standard round munitions are only going to have 15, so that is pretty cool. It just automatically had your 16. Okay. So Gaunt's Armament Inc. of North Hollywood designed, prototype, and produced a few hundred of the high-tech long pistols model GA and GS between 1984 and 1990. Okay. What do you got to say here? It looks like the type of thing Soviets were giving Spetsnaz in the Cold War. It definitely has those vibes. It definitely has like secret agent vibes for sure. The company made survival daggers using the same pistol grip for the knife handles. That is cool. I like that. Now, the Claridge pistols and carbines were based on this design. In 1990, Claridge High-Tech Inc. was created, and Joe and Gail Claridge, who incorporated Claridge High-Tech Inc. in Northridge, California. Claridge used this design to produce pistol models SLT, ZL, and ZT9. The carbine models CLEC9 and ZLEC9, however, the property rights of the design and rights to produce this weapon came under dispute. That's a whole lot of just garbage. 1993, Claridge High-Tech was forced to cease operations due to government outlawing the guns in the state of California. I don't know why they would have outlawed those specific weapons in the state of California, probably just because of the high magazine capacity. I think that's probably what it is. Now, the lower receiver frame is one-piece machine design. Okay, let's reread that. Some of the way that Wiki words this stuff, it makes me feel like I'm reading like an idiot. Okay, so the lower receiver / frame is a one-piece machine design. See, they're missing a comma. It's a one-piece machine design integral with the pistol grip and trigger guard. It houses all the firing components and safety mechanisms. The magazine is fed through the pistol grip, and 16, 20, and 30 round magazines were made for this weapon. That's really cool, and that's back in 1993. And it says that they were in production up until 1993. However, re-notched Beretta 92F magazines can be used, and many of those found on the market today are in fact modified Beretta or SIG magazines. That's cool. Now, the upper receiver is a one-piece tube with a screwed-in match barrel. Gaunt's armament utilized heat-treated 4130 solid chrome alloy for this receiver tube. On the Gaunt's GA and Claridge T&L models and all of the rifles, it also acts as a barrel shroud. The receiver tube houses the bolt, guide rods, and guide springs, and all Claridge High-Tech and Gaunt's Armament firearms utilized match barrels manufactured in-house that are button rifled. That's a lot of word vomit right there, jeez. So, let's see, on the operation. So, the Gaunt's action cycles as a closed bolt mechanism. The user operates the bolt with a knob on the upper left side of the gun, similar to a Tech 9. That's pretty cool. Why have I not reviewed Tech 9 and Mac 11 yet? That's crazy. The user operates the bolt with a knob on the upper left side of the gun, similar to a Tech 9. When the Claridge High-Tech began production, they modified the Gaunt's design by adding a bolt hold open button on the left side of the frame. None of the guns produced by Gaunt's Arms had this feature. However, this is only for inspection, as the bolt cannot travel forward from this position with a magazine inserted. The user must insert the magazine with the bolt closed and cock the gun in order to chamber around. Interesting. So the operation of that is kind of tricky. Kind of almost some built-in safety features, it seems like. So this picture right here actually shows that Claridge with the screw-on attachments. and you can see that screw-on piece right there with like one of the different clips and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Very futuristic type looking weapon, I would say. And it came in a bunch of different cartridges. So you could get this in a 9mm, you could get it in a 45 ACP. What else did they have? I think that's about it, actually. Excuse me. So that is the Claridge. Now, what else did we have here? So another weird one we have is the Shavinko PSH4 pistol. Now, this thing looks like, I don't know, maybe something out of like RoboCop or something like that. The way that it's got the like digs grooved out of the handle is absolutely insane. What I say? The Soviet APS is a cool gun as well. It's an underwater firearm, and it's literally a water AK. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that one. So this is the Shavinko. Now, let's see. So the Shavinko PSH4 is a Ukrainian pistol design which features a variety of weird but interesting elements. Made during the early 1990s, the Shavinko is a 15-shot, 9x18 copy of the Makarov. Ah, okay. That includes a 2-stage loading system, more likely taken from the Gabat Fairfax Mars pistol of 1898. It has a gas-operated locking system, which was drawn from a German experimental design from the Second World War. And then maybe its most laughable feature is a slide stop that made the slide open when there was one bullet left in the gun. The crazy purpose was to allow the shooter to make that deliberate last shot. Interesting, okay. What the heck that means? It was never explained. Maybe time to reload. That's funny. All right, so that's gonna go ahead and wrap us up for the night. It was kind of a quick live. Just getting back into it after being banned, so you know how that goes. If you want to stay in touch, go ahead and join the Discord, DWP Gun Lounge. Go ahead and drop a follow, subscribe. Become a member if you want. You get some like tiers to it. You can do some gaming with me and stuff. Play Marvel Rivals right now. Been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals and some Apex. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm about to go play some Marvel Rivals right now. Peace out. This is the Gun Lounge. I'm DWP. Best in the Midwest.